Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Behind the Noise right here. As you know, I'm Randy Rogers, and today I want to talk to you about something that I kind of recently just discovered that you may have, right? Adults don't know anything, right? We get humbled all the time, and we're like, whoa, what's going on? That's it. That's the episode. Thanks for listening. No, seriously, though, but when you're a kid, right, you see adults, you see them everywhere, and you, like, aspire to be that one day. Like, you're like, ooh, I want to be that adult, like that's gonna be me one day. I'm gonna be there. Someone's gonna look up to me, right? We view them as like superheroes, put them up on like a pedestal, right? And we think, all right, yeah, one day we're gonna have it together like those guys. Like, you feel like, your teachers, like, man, they were ancient, right? And they knew so much stuff. Your parents knew like everything that they could fix anything and everything. Your principal, they were like, man, they were it. They were the grown up of all grown ups. The people on TV, you thought they definitely know everything, right? And then and one day you become an adult, which we don't even really realize, we are. We look around, we're like, oh man, I'm an adult now, full fledged adult. We realize that and it just hits us like a ton of bricks, and we don't know what's going on. Nobody knows what's going on. We're just all kind of looking confused, little scratch of the head, and that's basically adulthood in a nutshell. Adulthood is looking calm while internally thinking, oh well, that seems pretty important, or should I throw that piece of mail away? Who gets mail? And I said just the other day, I hate getting mail. Like, even if it's not bills, like, I don't want to thumb through it and figure out what's important, what do I got to keep, and they make some imposters out there. They be out there. It looks like it's really handwritten, and it ain't. And hey, I be helping them out, and it's 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 wild. So today I want to start with something simple. Like, when you reach adulthood, every one of us has walked into a room. Um, and then we walk out, we walk in with like complete confidence. Then we get in there, we make a couple circles, and I mean, we have so much confidence going in. Like, this is what we're gonna do. Like, we're about to solve, world hunger, solve the in the arms of an angel pets out there. And we get in there, and like somebody just, called and said, "Hey, you're the only hope." Randy, you're the only hope. And we kick open that door, we get in that room, we walk in, we stop, and then we immediately forget while we even went in there. Nothing, gone, boom, right? It's like, all right, Houston, we have a problem. The mission is now canceled, and now I'm just standing there looking like a confused, person, and just looking around at things like like I'm gonna figure out, like a Blues Clues is gonna pop, and then I'll have it wrote down in my book, and we'll sit down on our thinking chair and think, and then we're gonna come up with it. Like, we just think the clues are gonna appear and be like, all right, Blue, that's it. But sometimes you just gotta leave the room, and then 5 minutes later it hits you, and you gotta go do it right then, otherwise you're gonna forget, right? Then you gotta walk back into the same room pretending you knew the plan the entire time, right? Especially if somebody's in there, it's like, oh yeah, I just came in here to kind of feel it out, right? And then someone asks whether it's your wife, somebody will be like, yo, what are you doing? And honestly, that's a fantastic question because we'd probably like to know too. And that's kind of adulthood, in a nutshell. Let me know if you agree on that, because that's kind of how I've been feeling here lately. And then, man, just today, so grocery stores, they're a trap. So just today, I was like, let's just get the Walmart Plus, right? And they'll just bring it to us. It's like $100 for the year, and we can just order it, and then there's no like impulse buying, right? Because grocery stores, bro, when you grow up, they're a trap. Um, they're a trap. You go in for one item, like, I don't need a cart, I don't need a basket, to like, practically I'm doing like a drive-by shopping trip. And then somehow I'm find myself on aisle 12, where and like, how did I get here? We came for milk, and here we go. It's like, actually, can you go to the front and get the basket? And like, why am I holding, zebra cakes and Twinkies? The grocery store has a way of convincing us that some things are necessities. It's like, you know what? Actually, I deserve that zebra cake. And so yeah, they're a trap. Walk in needing eggs, walked out with a Bluetooth speaker. It's a dangerous game that we play. And then like you don't even remember buying it. You get home, it's like cool Bluetooth speaker. You put it under the bed, and then you're either moving or you're doing spring cleaning, and boom, there it is. You're like, all right, very cool. And at some point you feel like maybe you just like blacked out and just started making crazy financial decisions in there, and then once you're in there, right, you get this basket full, and then you walk up, and now you got to do self checkout. Nothing gets me going more than self checkout. It's so wild because then you want to first it's unexpected thing in the bagging area, and then you got to figure out where Patricia is to come over and type her code in, and it's a big ordeal, right? Then maybe this time you need some Sharpies, and now you got to put your license in. Oh no, we got some bananas. You got to weigh it, and then they look at you like, oh, did you put something in there that you didn't scan? It's like, if you don't trust me, you got to come do it, right? And then after all of that, you get all of that done. You're walking out, and they want to stop you and see your receipt. And I don't know if that gets somebody else going, but I'm just like, man, if I can and they're distracted, I just walk past them. I just give them the cold shoulder, and I just sometimes they'll be yelling at me, sir, sir. I'm like just waving my receipt above my head. Usually I'll say something like, man, if you don't trust me to do it, put somebody over there, like, because you're already overstimulated. There's already so many people in there. And, I don't know. It's like, don't look at me. You're the ones with the cameras. Go check, go check it out. And then once you get out of the grocery store, like this is stuff that as a kid, you don't ever even think about, but as an adult, this is a big deal. Like this has got to be planned out. We're going to the grocery store today. Parking lots, right? Parking lots. Some wild stuff goes down in the parking lots. Like there's some crazy stuff. Everybody's normal, inside the store. Well, kind of semi-normal inside the store. But the second they hit the parking lot, it's like chaos. It's like when you go to like the fair that's set up, like it's just no one knows what's going on. It's just chaos. People walking like down the middle of like where the arrow is, and driving up the wrong, like perfectly slanted parking spots, and people are coming, into the slants. It's like, come on, man. People staring at their phones, walking right down the middle of the road, and you got to make the comment to everybody in the car. Yeah, that's where I'd walk, and and why does everybody suddenly move at the exact speed in the most like inconvenient times? Like it, like not fast, not slow, just specifically just annoying, right? And then that's adulthood, And then you finally make it to your car, right? Once you make it in your car, and you're trying to back out of the parking spot, and like it's kind of stressful, right? And if it's crowded, you got the person maybe behind you or on the other side. They got their blinker on. They want your spot, and sometimes I just be pulling right back in, just be like, you know what? Actually, I forgot something, because that's stressful. You've done it 1,000 times, but every time when you got somebody behind you with your blinker on, it feels like you're all of a sudden taking the world's hardest, driving test. And check every mirror, you check over your shoulder, say a quick prayer, like, dear Lord, please help me back out of this parking spot right now. And then somebody appears out of nowhere, like, where were you? You start going beep, 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 beep. It's like, what in the world, And they're walking behind you, got their shopping cart. It's like I've been looking for a full 10 seconds, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Magic Man appears. It's like, were you hiding in the bushes? Like, what is happening? What is happening? So that's kind of the adulthood of like going to the the store. And then also we have, technology. Technology was supposed to help us. That was supposed, that's what they promised. That's what they told us. But instead, our phones own us. Like, honestly, like I unlock it to check the weather, and then 30 minutes later, I'm watching a dude, run into a glass door, or just something wild. Or it's 2 a.m. and I'm watching some Ethiopians build a swimming pool, and I'm like, I think I could do that in my backyard, and they're just digging it out, and you watch this thing for 10 minutes, and then you only get to see about 5 seconds of it, completed. You're like, well, that was cool. That was awesome. Now that you watched it, you're gonna have about 500 more in a row. Or somebody restoring a tractor. And you may not even own a tractor, and never even need tractor information. But now you're emotionally invested in this swim pool or this tractor, and you're like, come on, you get that first swimmer. You come on. Hopefully this thing starts up. You were invested through the whole 10 minutes of this video, and social media knows too much. It's wild. The algorithm understands me better than some of our relatives, right? Some of our relatives don't understand, but the algorithm, man, it gets you, and you'll be there for a while. You know, you watch one video about something, and now every platform thinks you're that. If you watch one one video about grilling something, and now every platform thinks that you're a pit boss steakhouse master. Like, it's you thinking he be grilling filet mignons. Like, it is something else. It's something else. It is something. And then how many people have, like, you go and then you got to do one of these or something like that. Somebody waves at you, right? And nothing humbles you faster than this situation right here. Waving at someone who wasn't like waving at you, right? You get nothing, because that hand, once that hand goes up, you commit. You're committed. It's full send. It's like, all right, I'm gonna, maybe maybe you think him. You're just gonna just give him a little, But once the hand goes up, you're committed, and then you realize, like, maybe you don't know them, or maybe they were waving at you. You thought they were waving at you, and then you go to the hand, and then you realize they're just like waving at somebody behind you, and you're like, oh man, and now you're standing there looking ridiculous. So you have two choices. Option one, just go ahead and accept the defeat. Option two, turn that wave into something else, like I said, like, or one of those where you scratch your head. Or if you're driving, the best one, I like to get people doing this. Go up, they think you're waving. Yeah, you can put them in the situation. They think you're waving, and boom, at the last second you pull the visor down, and yeah, then they're just like, then they got to figure out what they're gonna do with their with their hand, whether it's adjust their hat or something like that. Pretend you're checking the wind direction, anything, and everything. Survival mode kicks in. You just gotta figure it out. Whether it's just like, actually, I was doing the twist and shout, something. Survival mode kicks in, and yeah, I think in adulthood we've all been there. Um, Another thing adulthood comes with, like, as most of you guys know, me and my wife, we are expecting our first baby, and we're very, very excited. Today, actually, we got to put together. My in-laws came, and we put together the crib, kind of moved the room around, got some stuff ready, and that's really cool. But what I have discovered is nobody has any answers, right? As adults, we're all just kind of figuring it out. Every parent, starts off confident. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And then eventually they tell you the truth. They're like, you ask them a question like, oh yeah, we're just kind of winging it. We're just kind of figuring that out too, and you're like, wait, what? So that's the advice? I thought there was like, a secret handbook, secret, here's how you do it. Here's it all wrote down. I thought somebody was going to hand me, like a 3-ring binder, and, with the little tabs on there, and like, all right, here we go, week 1, but that's not it, bro. You just, everybody's just kind of learning on the fly, which honestly explains a lot. And, maybe this could be the funniest thing about adulthood. We're all just pretending we've got it all together, right? And then meanwhile, we're forgetting why we even entered the rooms, right? we're buying things we don't need at the store. We got an impulse buy going on. buying things you don't need. Um, I haven't ever done this, but I've heard people getting lost in parking lots or losing their car, and I'm like, how do you do? Like, how? I mean, you can press the key, but this happens. This happens. People lose their cars in parking lots. I've seen some people looking for their phones, like in a dark room while using the flashlight on their phones, which is wild. Waving at strangers. We're acting like all this is just that's just the norm, And really, the truth is nobody really has that much figured out. Um, some people just look better and they're calmer at it. Kind of like if you watch sports much, when a rookie pitcher comes in, he kind of looks rattled, little scared, but veteran comes in, he's like, whatever, we're here, let's go. Get up to the plate. I'm gonna show you my stuff, and here we go. So it's a veteran thing. Once you get it figured out, it's a little bit better. Um, so if you're feeling all of that to say, adults, we don't. There's never a point where you know everything, right? We're all evolving. We all can. As funny as it is, everybody's figuring out at the same time. We're all here for each other, like 100%. Like it's all, it is funny. It is funny to think about, some of the stuff that we do as adults, and we're just like all just trying to figure out this life and how we need to do this here. So if you've been feeling like everyone else knows something you don't, I got some good news. they're, they're just as confused as you. They just have better poker faces on, right? So that is what it is. And so like kind of like a final question: have you ever stopped and wondered how many people you looked up to, whether it be a celebrity, your parents, just anybody, somebody you looked up to, and people that you think have everything together and are actually sitting in a room right now wondering why they've ever walked in there. Like, have you ever thought that maybe these people that you look up to, they to themselves actually walk into rooms like, why am I in here? Which would be wild. Like, think if it's like the president, like United States, or even just like a company, and they walk in like, what was I? Hey, that's just wild. That's just wild. So, so as adults, we're just in here just confidently guessing and hypothesizing and just hoping that we make the correct choice. And that's just kind of where we are together. Man, thank you guys so much for hanging out. This has been Behind the Noise with DJ Fat Dog, aka Randy Rogers. I appreciate y'all listening. I appreciate y'all hanging out. I will see y'all on the next one. I've been DJ Fat Dog. Jesus loves you. I love you. DJ Fat Dog out.